Welcome back to Proper Gray. Today's video, I am going to walk you through our oil painting frame that I built and talk a little bit about the history and the story behind this. About 2 years ago, we were at an estate sale, this gorgeous house overlooking Lake Michigan, and we came across this oil painting. We really liked it, but we didn't like the frame that came with it at the time, so we were able to take that frame apart and then rebuild it to make the new one out of oak that you have here. The whole idea behind this one is to be a floating frame, so it looks like it gives you that appearance that there's just the black gap in between the canvas and the oak frame itself. I didn't take any content of it when we originally brought this back because I hadn't started this channel yet, but we had some good fortune here recently. We were at another estate sale that was put on by the same company. And at the time when we had originally bought this painting, there was another one that was on site, but we didn't want to spend the money for that other one at the time. So unbeknownst to us, this painting didn't sell, and the estate sale company brought it back in and did one of their annual sales at their barn or their shop to get rid of excess stuff. So the exciting news for us is that about a year later, we picked up the sister painting. Now, as you can see, this one still has that original frame, and we are going to want to rebuild this frame to match this frame, and these two pairs of oil paintings by the same artist are going to be back in matching shape. All right, so we're out in the garage. We are going to redo our frame for this painting. I am going to make it a little bit more work for myself though, because I have this reclaimed oak that came from another project that we were able to salvage. So it's going to take me a little bit of time to run this through the planer to get it down to where I want it and make this to be something usable and nice. Is it recording? Cool. All right. So we're going to run this through the planer now. That's going to make them smooth. And at this point of the video, as you've probably guessed, not only are we making a float frame, but we're also giving an education on woodworking to the next generation, along with letting them try their hand at videography. So I love this darkened part of the oak here with this knot. And so we definitely want to leave this in. This is going to be part of that vertical portion of the frame. So now we got our outer perimeters done. Basically like that, right? Essentially, we want this. So I got to sand off these little burn marks. Oh, that's not great at all. Oh, it dug in. So the saw blade dug in there, but I'll get that with the sander. You gonna put it back on me? Yeah. All right, so I could have just went and bought, a 1/2-inch stock dimensional lumber, and that would have been one way of doing this, probably the easier way of doing it. But had I went and spent the money on that extra dimensional lumber, then I wouldn't have been able to use this cool reclaimed wood that already has nail holes in it, right?
Nail holes.
All right, so anyhow, this makes it look more something. So in any case, we've got free wood, and we're close to start being able to assemble this thing.
Oh, it stuck to my sleeve.
Yep, it's going to be stuck to your sleeve.
No, it stuck to my sleeve.
Okay. Okay, so here is our old frame. And we'll try to mimic this as much as we can. So the way they did this old frame is kind of tiered, where it's got a couple steps here. I'm just going to make one lip, and we're going to put it in line with that second one there, so that's where it sets up at. So I ripped down these little 1/8 of an inch thick strips that we're going to use to attach to the inside of the frame, which I'm going to use the table saw to rip a ridge that we're going to glue these little slits into. And that is how we're going to build our float frame. So I cut these little grooves in here for us to take our other, what will be horizontal slats. And these are going to feed into it, and we'll glue these in. And once these are glued in place, this is going to hold the painting in then where it's supposed to be.
How does it work?
How's it work?
Yeah.
The glue or what?
No, this.
The microphone?
Is it connected to your...
It's connected to the camera, yep. It's going to sound like really good. It's like we're like a professional YouTube channel, like actually knowing what we're doing. It's almost like that.
Oh.
Does that sound fun?
Yeah.
Excuse you.
I did not fight. You did. Actually, whatever that is.
To this point, we have our outer frames that are put together. So I just need to measure out our painting and then cut these to a 45-degree angle so that we can make a rectangle shape. And the goal here is to have a 1/2 inch gap around the outside of this canvas between our outer edge of the frame and what I've made here for this lip. And we're gonna paint the inside of this black, so it's all gonna look like it's hidden. So we're just gonna measure from the outside of this, which is 30 inches, to make sure it's square, which odds are it is, but you never know. So we're gonna do 31 inches for our width and 25 inches for our height. We want to measure from this inside cut here to be 31 inches for our width and then 25 for our height, and that'll allow us to have that gap. Now, I know this is going to draw some controversy, and using a compound miter saw to do a precise 45-degree angled joint is problematic. There's going to be a little bit of play. And yes, I know that using a table saw sled would be the best way to make this cut, and it would probably prevent this issue that I'm running into here. Now, I'm having problems with this one corner over here, and it's pretty typical, at least for me, that I always have a problem, at least one of my corners on doing miters. And this probably has a lot to do with not being a very good woodworker. But where there is a will, there is always a way. And this is going to be flush one way or another. All right. Good enough for who it's for, that's for sure. So now we kind of have this where I want it. I'm going to let this dry. And then once the glue has dried up on it and it's all set up, I'm going to come back and I'm going to sand it. And then I'm going to put a clear coat poly over everything. And then once I've done that, I'm going to tape off the parts that I want to remain the pretty natural looking oak with painter's tape. And then we're going to paint this inside rim black. Oh yeah, and remember that part about the knot that I really liked in the dark oak that I really wanted to show and expose? Well, because I'm such an awesome woodworker, I managed to bury that knot on the inside of the frame, not just the inside to the front, but the inside to the back, so that this knot that I love so much is on the inside of the curve cut, and I completely buried the one feature that I really, really liked. Will you grab those little shims for me?
Can I grab one?
Yep. I just need 4.
One.
Yeah, that's good.
Aww.
Give it.
You got 2.
That's 1 and 2. Thank you. So we're going to use these little guys here.
Cool.
And we're going to use these as spacers. So I'm just going to set them in here like so, because this is going to allow us to evenly space the painting out. So I'm going to set it in here like this, and we're going to put these here. Look at that. Everything looks even and wonderful. That's a little bit more of a gap there than I like. All in all, this float frame was a really easy project, even with my extra help. You can see it does look really good, and we're really ecstatic to be able to have both of these paintings back together in the same house again. And as always, if I could make an appeal for you to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with your friends. I'm going to get the content out there so we can have more availability, more ideas, and more projects to bring you so that you can design, create, and enjoy.